Welcome back. In this video, we will get an understanding of retrievers in LangChain. Let's get started. We'll talk about what are retrievers in LangChain, popular retrieval strategies, similarity or ranking-based retrieval, similarity with threshold retrieval, look at multi-query retrieval, what is self-query retrieval. Then we'll look into re-ranker retrieval, ensemble retrieval, which basically combines different retrieval strategies, talk a bit about hybrid search retrieval, contextual compression retrieval, and parent document chunk retrieval. So basically, these are different kinds of retrieval strategies which can be used on top of a vector database to retrieve relevant documents. So what are retrievers in LangChain? LangChain basically supports API wrappers for all popular vector databases, which we already know. It also allows us to create retrievers using these vector databases as a foundation. And these retrievers basically use a retrieval strategy to retrieve similar documents based on given user question. What are some of the popular retrieval strategies? So some of the very popular retrieval strategies include using a similarity or ranking-based retrieval, where you can use cosine similarity, Euclidean distance. You could also use ranking systems like Maximal Marginal Relevance, and so on. So based on a similarity score, you can take the top similar documents which are similar to your input question. There's also similarity with threshold retrieval, where let's say if you give a threshold like 0.3, only the documents which are greater than that similarity threshold will be returned as the relevant documents to your input question. Multi-query retriever basically uses a large language model behind the scenes where it takes in your input question and it makes the large language model to generate variants of that question, which could be better worded questions. And then each of these questions are sent to the retriever. Based on similarity, it will retrieve the most relevant documents. So that is why it is called a multi-query retriever, because your question is transformed into multiple variants of that same question. And each of those questions retrieve relevant documents, and then the distinct documents are returned. You also have a re-ranker retrieval, where it uses a re-ranker, which is basically a large language model behind the scenes, which has been fine-tuned to look at questions and answers and assign a ranking score or a relevance score to them. So often a re-ranker model is used at the end of multiple retrieval processes to give you the most relevant documents to your input question. And you also have ensemble retriever, which can combine multiple retrieval strategies together. So what is similarity or ranking-based retrieval? So assuming you have a bunch of documents, you can use a similarity function like cosine similarity, which looks at how similar are the embeddings between a document and the input question, and then you can get the k most similar documents, right, with the highest cosine similarity or the lowest cosine distance to the input question. Similarly, you can also get more diverse or more relevant ranked documents by using other ranking systems like maximum marginal relevance, where the formula of maximum marginal relevance is given here, where it uses a similarity function, which could typically be cosine similarity, measuring the similarity between, again, as you can see here, the input question and every document. So each of these are documents. And let's say you have an input question. It will measure the similarity of the question to each of these documents, or rather it will do it using approximate nearest neighbor search, which is much faster. And it also has a multiplier here, which is known as the MMR threshold, which controls the trade-off between relevancy, how similar is the document, how related or relevant it is to the input question, and the diversity. So if the MMR threshold is close to 1, then it puts more relevance on how relevant is the document to the given question. And if the MMR threshold is closer to 0, then it puts more relevance here in terms of trying to get more diverse documents. So they may not be totally relevant to the input question, but increases the diversity. Just like you increase creativity in a large language model by increasing the temperature value. Okay, so these are different ranking or similarity-based systems which you can use to retrieve the most similar documents. What about similarity with threshold retrieval? So this is where you use a similarity function, just like cosine similarity. So given an input question, it will find the most similar documents your question based on cosine similarity between the questions embedding and the document embedding. And then it applies a threshold. So let's say if you set the threshold to 0.3, so only the documents which are above the threshold will get returned, and the documents below the threshold will not be returned. So that is known as a similarity with threshold retrieval. Multi-query retrieval, so this is where given an input question that is first sent to a large language model like ChatGPT, ChatGPT will rephrase that question into variants of the same question. So it will basically rephrase or reword that question, as you can see here. So these are variants of the same question. And then each of these questions are sent to the vector database, and the most similar or most relevant documents based on a certain similarity scoring mechanism like cosine similarity will be returned. So that is why it is called as a multi-query retrieval, where your question is transformed into multiple questions, and each of them are sent to the vector database to retrieve most relevant documents. Self-query retrieval is basically where you have an unstructured natural language question in complete text, and then that is sent into a query constructor. And the main task of the query constructor is to figure out which part of the question is like a natural language question and which part could be a filter, right? Which is a filter based on certain metadata or certain other attributes, not based on the content. And then this is sent into a query translator, which will translate this into a more appropriate query for the vector database, which includes the actual full text search based on a embedding based similarity, and the other part will be more of a metadata filtering or filtering based on structured fields for each of those documents which are already present in the vector database. So a self-query retrieval means querying itself to figure out what is the actual question and which part of the question is going to be used for filtering relevant attributes for those documents. What about a re-ranker retrieval? So a re-ranker retrieval is a two-step process where typically the first step is you have a bunch of your documents and you have already converted them into document embeddings, and your question comes in, you have a question embedding, and you typically query your vector database to find the most similar documents based on, let's say, cosine similarity. And then you take each of these documents and your question and you pass it into a re-ranker. This re-ranker is typically, again, like a large language model, a transformer-based model, and the re-ranker will rank each of the similar documents based on a relevancy score. And then you can take the top most relevant documents based on the re-ranker. So a re-ranker is often useful when there could be multiple similar answers to the same question, but out of those similar answers, maybe a few of them are more relevant to the input question. So that is when you end up using this. And we will see how to use this also in our project towards the end of this module. Ensemble retrieval. So typically in ensemble retrieval, you end up combining multiple retrieval strategies or multiple retrievals, and then take an average at the end or a weighted average depending on whatever other weights you want to assign to each of the retrieval strategies based on the importance. So as the workflow shows you here, your query goes into the vector database. Each of the retrievers will retrieve relevant documents, and then this will go into a reciprocal rank fusion re-ranker, which will then re-rank the final set of documents and give you the most relevant documents at the end. So using ensemble retrieval, you can combine multiple retrieval strategies, including all of the ones which we discussed previously. What about hybrid search retrieval? So hybrid search retrieval is basically the hybrid search we discussed in a previous video, where one part of the search will be based on similarity or semantics or meaning, where you use something like a cosine similarity based on vector embeddings, and you retrieve the most similar documents. The other aspect is to retrieve similar documents based on keywords. So this is where you can use bag of words, TF-IDF, BM25, and retrieve similar documents based on the similar keywords, matching keywords. And then you send the combined documents from each of these into, just like an ensemble retriever, you use a reciprocal rank fusion re-ranker, which then gives you the final set of documents, which makes the most sense in terms of relevancy. So you can even plug in a semantic search retrieval system like a cosine similarity and a BM25 similarity into an ensemble retriever, and it can start functioning as a hybrid search retrieval system. What about contextual compression retrieval? So in contextual compression retrieval, what happens is, given an input question, it goes into the vector database. You can use any kind of a retrieval strategy like cosine similarity, maximum marginal relevance. You could even use, let's say, a multi-query retriever, and then you retrieve relevant documents which are similar to the input question, relevant to the input question. And then you send all of these documents into a compression retriever. The compression retriever could extract the most relevant part of the documents related to the input question, and it can also filter out the irrelevant documents. So in this case, let's say we ask the question, what is the capital of India? And it gets a bunch of results, which is all related to a capital of India, but not the capital of India. So if you send all of these relevant documents to the compression retriever, then you end up getting the most relevant document which is related to the question. So often contextual compression retrieval is used to compress out the noise and return only what is relevant to the given input question. Last but not the least, parent document chunk retrieval. So this is a slightly more complex strategy where we take in the input documents, create chunks out of them, which are larger chunks, let's say chunks of size 5,000, and then we break every parent chunk into even smaller chunks. Like let's say this is a chunk of size 2,500. So in this way, all the child chunks are the smaller chunks, and we pass them into an embedding model, get embeddings out of them, and we store the child chunk and their embeddings into a vector database. Now, let's say when we ask a question, we send it to the vector database and retrieve, okay, which is the most relevant chunk or chunks. So let's say it tells us that, okay, child chunk 2 is the most relevant chunk to the input question, related to the input question. So then we go back and check the mapping. Which document is it a child of? And then this is the final document which we return to the user. Or we send it to a large language model when we are building a RAG system. So it is often useful where you can break down a document into smaller chunks. And then when you're returning the result to the user, instead of returning only that chunk, you return a more meaningful chunk, a larger chunk back to the user, or you can even return the full document back to the user if you want to. So that is known as parent document chunk retrieval, where your child chunks are stored, relevant child chunks are retrieved, and then you map it back to the parent chunk it is a part of, and then you return that to the user. That's it for this video. Thank you.